the NFL on East, where division rivals will clash in the AFC North. It's the Browns and the Ravens on Monday night.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This one taken just inside the 10. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there, caught at the 26. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
We saw something last week you don't see very often. Team loses, but the quarterback, the trigger man, Offensive Player of the Week in the AFC. That's pretty impressive.
You rarely see that. Of course, don't worry, folks. He said the obligatory, I would have traded that. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 20 carries, 88 yards.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
Now Dobbins again on second down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play. It was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 13. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Buying time to his left. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try to match his athleticism.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 46. Jackson. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. They run with Edwards off the option. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. To throw is Jackson. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. Jackson now off the bootleg. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Jackson. Open man is Bateman. It's complete. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good. On 2nd and 10, Jackson. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. And Jackson throwing once more. Going for it all. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. The Browns D locked in on 3rd down. Brings up 4th. An early message that this secondary is going to be tested because even though John Harbaugh never shy about bringing out the red challenge flag, and he'll do so here. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone. And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together. So that a good call by John Harbaugh in tossing out that red flag. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. So here are the Browns under head coach Kevin Stefanski. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural Deshaun Watson. If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something's funny when we talked to him. All he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done. Good sign of a leader. Great sign of a leader because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no? I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get out the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series. Trucks over him. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41.
I know you feel
A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 23 carries, 108 for the yardage, and the score, too.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter whether they're going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find it.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Patrick Queen. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. When I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. If they want it first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Here's Jackson. And that is incomplete. The Browns D locked in on 3rd down, brings up 4th. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held them to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. 7 yards the pick up there. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the 44, Watson. This one hauled in. Again, it's Hooper. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 25-yard line.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And bulldozing his way through. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9.
Let's go. I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
They'll run with Chubb. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. And that's on the guard, Wyatt Teller. Made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Watson. And that is incomplete.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But they'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And his kick is right there. It's good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
This one fielded at the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? To be able to get him in the 2nd round, that's what I call a steal.
Now Dobbins, and he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We're watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and he hoped to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
2nd and 6. To throw is Watson. It's caught by Hooper. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. Flushed out right, and he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Our score after one here on EA Sports. The start of the second quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football. More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
Wearing no joke.
Vision and speed, 2 of the attributes that you might say are important for a free safety, and we saw both in evidence there.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And the numbers here don't lie. According to the Next Gen stats, he topped out at an even 22 miles an hour. On 1st down, Watson. This pass complete to Higgins. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A give. This is Chubb. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Watson. Touchdown, Browns. Rashard Higgins with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Point after try forthcoming. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. On 2nd and 9, Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now Jackson. Hard throw, incomplete. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they are a game under 500 now following the loss a week ago. And this is a team, Charles, that just has not been able to string victories together.
Yeah, they're certainly going the wrong way, aren't they? Because it looked like they had things pointing in the right direction, but now they've lost 2 straight. And that means this game is vital, extremely important, because if they fall 2 games below 500, the road back into playoff contention, awfully difficult. Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Bert?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
On first down, it's Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A give running right is Chubb. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Back to throw, Watson. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And this was a nice example of the offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Handoff comes to Chubb. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb hit 21.95 miles an hour on a long touchdown run in 2019. 4th fastest in the NFL. And he flashed the big-time speed again there.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? And he was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 17-10 score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. And now here come the Ravens. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. He gives it to Dobbins. Dobbins hit and he fumbles. But it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They go play action with Jackson. He completes it to Jones. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. 3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. He's going to find his tight end Boyle. And he will have a Ravens first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
I like the fact that they didn't overcomplicate things on that call. 3rd and 2. Just run the quick little hitch, which they did. Ball's out of quarterback's hands. And yes, indeed, they pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
That's it, baby. I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 41, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were in nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field. Guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
Now Nick Chubb of the Browns gets set for their next possession. And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock. But barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 104 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Watson on first down. And finding the tight end Hooper. That catch good for only a couple. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
A run for Nick Chubb. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Browns on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On 4th down, Joseph Charlton on to punt.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at about the 14. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game.
Well, we've certainly seen this before, CD. No one can quite electrify a crowd like Lamar Jackson, and really don't know what else to say other than that was special right there.
I think you pretty much said it all, but I go back to what you said about electrifying a crowd. He's also electrifying us, and we're calling the game. This guy's simply sensational.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied here in the second quarter. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as it kicks away.
Fielded right around the 8. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Couldn't do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
The Browns on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 15. Now Watson. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And that's not going to get it down. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end.
And here's Joseph Charlton now,
as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Taken in at the 22.
A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards.
And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
The Ravens offense back out there.
And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll run on 1st down. Dobbins, and he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Jackson now. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Andrews.
And he will get enough for a 1st down, and that will lead us to the 2-minute warning.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right.
And Jackson's so tough to stop. He's got a 1st down, and he gives himself up there at the end. Well, another fine run right there for Lamar Jackson, and CD, that one puts him over 100 yards now for the ball game.
And remember when all we talked about were 100-yard games from running backs? That when a quarterback did it was a surprise? With Lamar Jackson, that's part of the he'll have as many 100-yard games in the season as the top running backs in the league.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews.
And down inside the 15 he goes.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. After the sack on 1st down, Jackson.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. On 3rd down, Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good. And with that, they take the lead here, 20-17. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Taken in at the 3.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Swings this out for Hunt.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Again, it's Watson. Looking deep downfield. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards.
That's a well-thrown ball right there. This is where arm strength pays off because he's got to be able to get the ball both downfield and to the sideline. And that's one of the more difficult throws for a quarterback. And he put it right where it needed to be.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
Watson looks to throw again. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson.
That's complete to Peoples-Jones.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And his kick is good. And that will knot things up here late in the first half. So they're able to make things level just before half and also leave very, very little time on the clock.
And I love the way that you phrased that. Brought a little soccer into it. And that's really apropos considering they just kicked a field goal to tie things up.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And they'll begin by running the option.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run.
It's a tight football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, where it was the Bengals who were able to pick up the victory at home. T. Higgins, well over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches. From there, let's get over to the Rockies to check out the Broncos at home in Denver. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Houston Texans. Javonte Williams, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Robert Woods, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. On to a look at the next-gen stats for the Browns in that first half. And they've had all sorts of success thus far tonight throwing the football, as they're on pace to throw for 300-plus yards if they continue the way they've been going. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, we get a look at their numbers on the ground in that first half, as they'll be looking to rev things up here in a tie ball game.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
Let's go.
Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. Now a first down throw, Watson. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Odafe Oweh able to record his 5th sack of the season. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Throwing on second and long. Watson over the middle, complete. It's Higgins. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Throwing on third down, Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game.
I'm going to break it.
I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First and foremost,
hold on to it.
Take care of the football. That's all he needed to do.
On first and 10, Watson has got Hooper on the short connection. A gain of 6 there on first. Now Chubb running right. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Watson on third down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4.
Partner, you know what I'm going to say before I even say it.
Yeah, you just cannot take a sack in that spot.
You're exactly right. You can't take a sack in that spot. Potentially now, a 3-point swing right there.
The Browns send out their punter now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 16.
He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins.
And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. And give the tackle to Anthony Walker.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. And chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down. Now it's Jackson.
He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Now Nick Chubb and the Browns get set for their next possession.
And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack.
Tell you what, he did not have much time there to get in the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They run. Chubb. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
On 2nd down, Dobbins. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Jackson.
And that'll be complete to Dobbins.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. A pretty nice, strong run, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30.
That was a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
On 2nd down now, Dobbins, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky then great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. Now it's Jackson.
He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield.
And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Ouch, you thought you had the defensive stand. Roughing the passer wipes it out.
What does every defense talk about? 3 and out, right? Thought they were able to get off the field. Not so.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down. To throw is Jackson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. This just a 24-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will break our tie and give him a 3-point lead. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He's hoping to channel his first half play. They had the lead at halftime, was playing well. Flip the script here in the 3rd quarter a little bit.
I think he misses the Pee-wee days, you know, when you just got the orange slice at halftime, right? And remember, weren't any real adjustments then, right? You weren't looking at some tape, right? You weren't looking at stuff off of the Surface tablets. You just went back out and played. Right now, maybe the adjustments have caught up to him.
We'll see. Maybe he just needs a couple orange slices here for this drive.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. Oh, Chubb fumbled it, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They're looking to bounce back following the loss to Miami a week ago, and they've got the lead right now as they come up with a 1st and 10.
Here's a give to Dobbins.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Jackson from the shotgun. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Dobbins. And he stopped immediately there. Nelson.
Jackson going to keep it running right.
Showed off the footwork, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the trainers take a look.
An option handoff here to Dobbins.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option.
And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
On this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option.
He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
A pretty good-looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain.
Coming up on 2nd and 7.
And now Jackson will look to throw it.
Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Another run here with Dobbins.
And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Now Jackson. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Maybe an important fourth quarter miss as this stays a 3-point game.
Yeah, now overtime is very much in the equation here. Just what you mentioned, a 3-point game. They get a drive, put it through the posts. We could have some free football, couldn't we?
Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. Their defense was able to hold serve, albeit with a little help from that missed field goal as they settle in now 1st and 10. Now Watson. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll go option to the short side. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Boy, the pursuit there, terrific from the linebacking core.
Oh, it certainly was, because so many times on an option play, you'll see a linebacker make a beeline for the quarterback and then zip, one cut, and he's grasping at air. But this time, he locked in on him the whole way, took an excellent angle, and his grasp came up with the quarterback.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, Jackson.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And looking up into the sun, he's able to make the fair catch inside the 20-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's caught by Hooper. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson.
And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. From the 50, it's Watson. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
First down.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Watson's throw into the hands of Hooper.
They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring it down. To throw, Watson, 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches. Incomplete.
So now you're in range to tie things with a field goal, but they still have plenty of time to work for a game winner, and they're trying to do so. Nice job defensively to force incompletion there.
Watson to throw. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to tie things up in the final minute. And his kick here is good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably...
And he loses the football a second time. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. A huge play there in overtime.
So this play, until recently, only something you'd probably expect to see in a college game, but running quarterbacks are certainly in vogue, and this turned into a big play.
And you and I both know that for a long time, coaches worried about their quarterbacks taking too much punishment, running plays like this, and they still worry about it. But when you can break up big chunks of yardage like that, it's worth the risk. Plus, you're coaching that quarterback to see those guys coming and get down before the big hit occurs.
First throw in overtime now for Jackson. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 25-yard line. Now a handoff for Dobbins.
Oh, he gets loose right side.
And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. We needed extra time to decide this one. The rushing score and OT finishes it off. But all throughout, really just a great game to witness.
I agree. And the whole time we were watching and working on this game, I had it in the back of my head. We could get to overtime. Just the way this game went, the ebb and flow of it all. And then to get there and finish it what I would call an old school way, the running play, because in today's NFL, we throw the ball to ring the bell, don't we?
Not there. They ran it in. And again, just a great, great game that we bore witness to. So for the Ravens, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Browns, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.